All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to Embody Your Higher Self, Visioning Activation, and Honoring for the Lunar New Year. I am so excited to be here. I was just mentioning it hasn't necessarily been the most easy landing here in Mexico, but I am zooming in from Mazunte, Mexico. Beautiful place. I feel very privileged to be here. I have called in the directions this morning for everyone and for us in this container. And I just want to, yeah, give thanks to this land, this beautiful land for having me here as a visitor and for allowing this to be the space of our connection point. It's pretty amazing that we get to be zooming in from different places of the world. So cool. So want to just give you a little disclaimer. I've been having a little bit of trouble with the internet at my place, and despite my boldest and biggest efforts, being promised Starlink and all that, I am in a somewhat rural village in Mexico. So I'm currently at a cafe that I've tested a few days now. So my apologies if it somebody walks in and it gets loud. It's at a hotel. I'm doing what I can, but I'm rolling with it. I also am getting over food poisoning, but hey, rolling with that too. As mentioned earlier before I hit recording, I'm in this beautiful initiation, and honestly, I'm smiling about it. I'm laughing along the way. I'm rolling with it, and it's not even close to the hardest thing I've been through. So it was such an honor calling in the directions today and yeah, really praying with the land and the ancestors here. Um, I can feel the whales just like at my fingertips, so I know that they're here too. And I just wanted to mention that too. So I want to give you a quick overview. We will be talking about the wood snake and evoking the essence of the wood snake today. And I want to mention that you'll need a candle and a journal. I will also be sharing a little bit about my story, which I'm excited to share a little bit about. And we'll be doing an honoring ritual and a shedding for our wood snake evocation. And we'll also be calling in the higher self today, embodying as best we can in our container today, that higher self. And I also wanted to leave room for shares as well. I will also be sharing a little bit about my group program, which I'm very excited about, the Sacred Soul Alignment group program. And then we'll be closing at the end. Lynn is super stoked. She's already saying, yes, please, I need to shed from 2024. Absolutely. And we'll also be honoring what 2024 has really brought forth in us as well, that initiation, if you will. So if you can, I'd love for you to turn your cameras on if you are down, especially just having a nice little container. If not, it's totally okay. You don't need to, but just an ask. All right. So we've all heard it. There's this statistic that there's a growing body of evidence that shows that if you practice something and do a mental practice, there's actually neural pathways that are improving the skill, even if we're not doing it physically, even just feeling it mentally. What I want to do today, though, is actually feel it in your imagination and bring that magic. I feel like practicing visioning is like hygiene. The more I've noticed I've done this work, the easier it's become, and also things actually start to become real. So I have also just really enjoyed bringing in the essence of the Chinese Zodiac as well. I think using that magic along with the visioning can be really powerful. And yeah, it feels really important to me because I'm personally so into spirit animals and that connection to earth and other beings on this earth. So I love that opportunity to also jump on that wave, that collective wave of the intention that's being put forth, and where so many people are feeling that around the world. So who's with me? Yes, 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 yes. So this year, 2025, we have the wood snake, which is pretty epic combo of energies. The snake brings this intuitive wisdom, some mystery, right? But across different cultures and spiritual practices, the snake is also seen to be this being of ascension and spiritual connection, right? We see it in that like old mark of medicine. There's two snakes rising with wings. We also see this in the Kundalini tradition. The snake rooted in the bowl rises with the Sushumna up the spine to ascend. So there's a sense of like rooting, right? Especially when we bring in that wood element, the tree element. There's this rooting, there's this going deeper, right? But the snake also kind of resembles the spine, at least in the Kundalini tradition, right? Like the central channel. So it's like the deeper we can go, right? And the more like inward to the core we can go, I believe the more that we will ascend. When we bring in this wood energy of the rootedness, right? There's also this element of like a tree. There's flexibility when things get hard, right? There's growth, there's blossoming. The wood snake has this energy of springtime. So definitely pay attention to when spring comes around. But trees also create a network. And so there's this energy of community and connection. So together, they really embody this wise growth, flexible wisdom, and strategic expression strategy. It's like, how can I become flexible but still strategize, right? So, like, so we'll see this energy in certain areas in our life in 2025 that I want to mention. One being creative expression, right? This blossoming, like thinking of your rosebuds blossoming, or the dogwood blossoming, right, in the springtime. There's also something we said about strategic life development, right? The strategy of what do I know? What can I focus on? And spiritual and mythical growth. This is, again, there's this ascension quality happening, core quality happening, like down to the deep core in beliefs. And then, as mentioned, relationship and community, right? How are we connecting? How are we strategically honoring our energy and choosing what's right for us? And then, my favorite, of course, is personal development and transformation. So, so excited about this wood snake energy coming forth. And with that core energy, I really feel like there's this essence of truly, truly following our heart with strategy and expression, but truly following the heart, right? Putting down our grounding cord, putting down our roots, so that we can guide ourselves with what's right as we're listening. So excited about the wood snake of 2025. So you all know me, but for the sake of this recording, I'm going to let you know about my story. I'm an empowerment and purpose clarity coach, a spiritual guide, a vocal channeler, and a ceremonialist. And I have a pretty big flame and a wild heart connected to the earth, as you know. And I've always wanted a career in inspiring others. And I've also always wanted to travel around the world and be able to feel freedom in traveling while making a greater impact. But I didn't always know what I wanted to do. I did use visioning quite a bit because I was an athlete, and growing up, I I used it for sports, but I didn't really know that I could use visioning for personal development, spiritual growth, or even healthier relationships, honestly. I grew up in a very competitive East Coast culture where there was a lot of conditioning to compete for value and worth. Curious if y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes, I hear you. I feel you. And looking back, I really didn't have the tools to listen to myself. So, of course, I used drugs and alcohol, exercise, and wrong relationships to escape my feelings of unworthiness and not belonging. I felt like I was always trying to prove myself. I found myself still not really knowing what I was doing, and I found myself going pre-med and chasing another unaligned relationship at the time. Um, Nothing, bad about him, but it just wasn't right. But he was a mountain biker, and I found myself 5 months into the sport going over things that were like way too advanced, but big flame, wild heart, let's go. I've learned my lesson. I was trying to keep up with him, and I remember seeing a vision of me going over these flowy hills, and I was like, I need to take a break. They called last call. He said, let's just go on one more ride. Are you down? I said, sure, even though I knew I wasn't like okay to do it. I pushed past my intuition, I pushed past my vision. I ended up in the hospital with 13 broken bones. I had a traumatic brain injury, 7 broken vertebrae, a broken clavicle, 5 broken ribs, neck broken. I mean, it was bad, right? But it completely changed my life. It made me deepen my meditative and spiritual practices so much. And it made me deepen my relationship to God because I truly believe that my universe is a friendly one. It taught me how to listen on such a deeper level as I stared up at the ceiling for months. And it taught me also about healthy relationships in a big way. I had to learn how to rebuild my mind and my body. And so it envisioned myself as I would meditate, dancing and traveling again, and feeling centered and inspired, and feeling confidently authentic, helping people create more impact. And slowly I healed. And with it, I gained these tools, these meditative tools. And I realized I didn't need an MD or a PhD to help people. I just continued to listen deeper into my heart, deeper and deeper and deeper. As that happened, my practices for visioning grew stronger, and so did my coaching practice as I became more ready to actually step into this role as a coach. And I continued to feel safer and braver in my own skin and with my own desires, especially as I continue to do the deeper fear work and resistance work that I do in my practice with clients. I do it on myself as well, that shadow work. And as I healed the core fear beliefs, along with the visioning, I would see myself traveling around the world again and making an impact in other people's lives as an inspirational coach and vocalist. And so now here I am. It is not always glamorous, but it is the life I've chosen. And I'm really proud of that. And I'm really happy about that. Traveling the world, making an impact. But don't forget to envision really good internet. That is something that I have been learning along the way through the years. Even if they say they have really good internet, just do some research, which I've been doing for the past few days, and here I am. So giving myself the permission to practice this visioning. And I want to offer this to you today, right? Creating that trust and leading from the heart. So let's honor how far you've come, because I know you all have traveled far and wide around this earth. So I want to invite you to bust out your journal. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Nika's got her journal on hand. So, year in review, the year of the dragon, 2024. Woo! What a year! Oh my gosh. Building strong leadership qualities. Dragon was about determination to succeed and learn what inspires us and how to chase our dreams. And it also brought in this element of luck, the lucky dragon. Reverend Michael Beckwith says that luck is an acronym for living under cosmic knowledge, right? To me, that's alignment, that's trust. So for me personally, 2024 was not easy, but it did indeed teach me how to be a leader more so than ever, 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 for myself, and really become that role model for others. It taught me about boundaries and discernment and saying no, releasing toxic relationships, knowing what is truly healthy for my body, and what success really looks like, which is I've never loved myself more than I ever have now. To me, that's success. So I'd like to ask you a few questions. First question is, how have you succeeded this past year? Even if it's a silver lining, what are you proud of? How have you succeeded? Maybe it's in work or health or relationships or personal growth. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about this question. What are you proud of? Next question is somewhat similar, but a little different. How have you become a leader for your own life in this past year, the year of the dragon? How have you become a leader for your own life? Okay. Next question is, what challenge or struggle have you walked through that taught you about your deeper values? What challenge or struggle have you walked through that taught you about your deeper values? In this past year? And how have you learned to align with what's healthiest for you as a whole?
When you say how have I learned to align with what is healthiest, like, do you mean like what those things are, or like what have I physically done?
Great question. More so like, what have you learned? Not necessarily what you've physically done, but it could mean like, I said no to so and so, but really that would be more like I learned boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great question. Okay, next question is, what fear that you know of course, right? Because we're not always so conscious of our fears, but what fear that you know of blocks you from what you want? Do you know if there's a fear? Maybe it's unworthiness, like I mentioned in my story, or not being good enough. What fear blocks you from what you want that you've noticed this year? And What are you ready to let go of? Not bypassing here, but what are you really ready to let go of? And what might be super loving to say to that fear? So you could honor before letting anything go. What does that fear need to hear? And this is a deeper process, but I wanted you to just take a stab at it, right? I know this is it's involved and I don't mean to bypass anything. And in the work that I do with clients, we go much deeper into this process, but I just want you to poke at it, right? Like just starting to poke holes in the fear, the resistance, the like, what am I really wanting to let go? And recognizing it's not just about like shedding and slaying the fear. It's actually like, how can I love this so much? Like, what does that part of me really need to hear? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So, with that energy of the heart that we called in earlier, the direction of the heart, I want you to take a moment and I invite you to take a deep breath, putting your hands on your heart and feel your heartbeat. Honoring this past year and everything you've been through to get right here, right on time. Your full year of the dragon 2024 in reflection, honoring yourself for everything you've been through, for more awareness, more space, for alignment, inquiry, and knowing that by giving yourself this space, you're honoring yourself with love. Now, I want you to take all that love from your heart, feel it in your palms, emanating through your arms, and go to your brain, placing your hands on your brain. And if it feels good, I encourage you to say, thank you, brain. Thank you, brain, where all of these memories are stored, all of the figuring out is done. Recognizing that these things, this energy gets stored in our body but it really is our thoughts constantly running the show, trying to figure everything out, coming from the brain. That is creating a lot of our energy. So thank you, brain. Thank you for everything you've been through, trying to keep me safe, scanning for safety, processing. Wow, you are amazing and resilient. And now imagine that you have this snake skin, this wood snake skin. I want you to start to peel open from the top of your head, starting to shed with wisdom of love, starting to wipe off the brain, wiping it off, and you're peeling it down your face, wiping off your eyes and your nose and your ears and your mouth, wiping it off, peeling the layers down your throat, your collarbones, opening at the heart, your shoulders, peeling down one arm and the other. As you open again from the chest and the back body, as you start to wipe off and peel off this layer, peeling it off all the way down to the pelvis and your seat, wiping off, peeling off that layer. 2024. This initiation that you have gone through, peeling it off one leg and then going over and peeling it off this other leg. Recognizing that you are coming into your new skin. And then when you're ready, holding this skin, everything you've been through in 2024 in front of you, and just with eyes open or closed, giving it a sense. Wow. Honoring it. This outfit, this pattern that you have been through. Thank you. Thank you, 2024, for everything. Those dragon scales have taught me so much, have taught us all so much. Thank you. And when you're ready, I want you to let go of that skin. You can offer it to the earth, the wind, the sunshine if it's sunny, or the water of the rain where you are. Thank you. Offer it to the air and just feel yourself letting it go, taking a nice deep breath in and releasing with your own wind of your breath. Shaking out the hands, shaking out the body. Give yourself a little shake. And now feeling into your new layer, a little bit more deconditioned, a little bit more in your authentic truth. These new patterns and neural pathways. The snake shows us how to shed, but it gives us this new pattern. It's not so that we're patternless. No, we get to choose what outfit we wear. That is a choice. So take another deep breath, feeling into this moment. And I want to invite you to find that candle. Hopefully it's close by. Have your journal close by. You'll be needing it after doing some future self meditation. For now, I want you to light that candle. Calling in the essence of your higher self, the essence of your future self, truly the essence of the deconditioned self, the one that feels more whole and loving and aligned with what you truly desire deep at your core. Oh my God, I just saw a whale jump in the ocean. I'm not even kidding. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Oh my, oh my God. It's really happening. Whew, okay. I'm so glad I got to be here with all of you in that. So, feeling the essence of the higher self. What is it that you truly want? And I invite you to close your eyes, no journaling quite yet. Just feel this space aligned with gratitude of honoring what you've become. I want to invite you to think about what personal growth and transformation do you really want? Now ask yourself why. Why do you really want that? What creative and artistic expression do you really want to embody? Why? What spiritual growth do you want? And why? And what do you want in your relationships, in your community? Why? And now feel into this person, who you are, aligned with the magic of desire, And we'll bring in the magic of imagination. Start to feel this being that you are as you call on the spirits of the highest truth and compassion and your higher self. What does your higher self look like? What clothes are they wearing? What colors are they wearing? How are they carrying themselves? Feel these qualities in your own body. What do they sound like? What energy radiates from them? What qualities naturally flow through them? Can you feel this energy, even just a little bit, right here, right now? You have permission. How do they move through the world? What are they called to express and how? Dancing, singing, writing, playing the guitar, interior design, photography, hitting a drum. What messages do they have to vocalize? What do they want to see in the world? How do they serve the world? How do others feel in their presence? And what wisdom do they naturally embody? What wisdom do they naturally embody? At their core, what do they know to be true? What values do they live by? Now feel this energy. And if you're seeing it outside of yourself, I invite you to step in, allow that energy, that version of you to become one with you. Bring that vision into your own body. I give you permission. With a deep breath in and relaxing sigh, opening yourself to this possibility. From this version, I want to ask your higher self, from the highest wisdom, what do you want for me? What do you want for me? And from your highest wisdom, how will you know or feel this wisdom in your body? How does it feel? This inner knowing. Now ask this wisdom, what am I ready to embody? And what do I need to do to align with you more? What practices will help me stay connected to you? I invite you to not question this intuitive downloading. Let it be what it is, knowing that this is a practice. Don't question your intuition. Allow yourself to see yourself, see and feel the embodiment of your higher self, and honor it by just witnessing and being with it. No need to figure it out. Honor it. Another deep breath. Honoring its deep wisdom. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and find your journal. And jot down what really came through. Give you about 5 minutes to jot anything down. And I'll also put in these last questions in the chat. About another minute. Let it be bullet points. I'll give you just another little bit, maybe like another 20 seconds. All right. So I think there's something really powerful about vocalizing when we've had some insights. So I wanted to open the floor to some shares. I just want to name that we do have a guest in the restaurant, but you are all, no one can hear you because I'm listening through my headphones. So I'm curious if anyone would like to share anything that came through for them in their visualization or in their journaling. We have a small group today, so I hope everyone's feeling brave to share anything that came through. What's landing? What are you noticing?
I can share a little.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Nico.
I feel like one of the biggest downloads that I had during that meditation was like the balance of my priorities in my life. And I've always said that it's my body working and my creativity. And I noticed that I've been having some resistance with my creativity and I didn't understand why. And in the meditation, I realized that I was resisting my creativity by trying to prioritize something more in the material world that I thought I needed to feel more supported in my creativity. But what I realized is that I already am supported and everything that I need is available to me, and that it was a negative feedback loop that I was creating myself because of the conditioning. And I feel like it was like the final unravel of this like resistance that I've been feeling actually coming up into this workshop. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Beautiful. I'm curious if you wouldn't mind sharing. I'm just curious, was there a specific thing that wants to be expressed that you noticed, like you're speaking to, like this creative outlet, like material, okay, we figured out the material isn't quite right. Like what is it that authentically wants to be expressed?
Yeah, good question. Like So for context, right now I'm in school for massage therapy and I'm being like my father is supporting me financially right now. And I had this idea that like I need to do my schoolwork first. I need to get like my schoolwork is my priority so that I can, do well in school and get a good massage therapy job and have a good like solid income that's mine so that I can focus on writing, so I can focus on working on a magazine with my friends, so I can focus on like that work that is like so sparking my passion because that doesn't make any money yet, but it's like, hold on, I am supported right now by my father. I do have a steady income. Just because it's not quote unquote mine doesn't mean it's not mine. And like, right, it's like this story I was telling myself in my head, like I can't work on my creative stuff until I get my homework done. But no, actually, what I need to do is do my creative stuff so that I can get my homework done. Because then I'm like, I want to do this, but I'm forcing myself to do this, and then I'm spiraling, and then I don't do anything.
Wow. Wow. Some huge insights. I'm also curious too, and maybe, take a moment, close your eyes, feel into this. Do you think you might actually have more energy to do your homework? I'm not saying put off the homework, but I'm like,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
yeah,
You might
100%.
actually have more energy to actually do it. I love this insight, Nico.
I know. I had it backwards the whole time.
And sometimes there's deadlines, but it sounds like what I'm really hearing in you is there's this
hmm
deconditioning of what we've been taught. And I say we because I'm sure this is very relatable to a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we do have to make sacrifices. I get that. But heaven, yes. Heaven, yes to these insights. This is so cool. And
Happy.
I'm excited to see this magazine one day. I love that you're letting yourself feel into it, giving yourself permission. And I love that you said yet. Like it hasn't happened yet, right?
But it's
It's happening.
like this year is one of my themes is winning.
Oh, one of my themes is LFG. So I love it. Yes, Lynn is celebrating you. LFG. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much, Nico. Let's see. So Shelby said, I've learned my greatest value and what excites me through my struggles and hardships, i.e., a passion and desire for running. Mm, yes. Yes. Through taking care of my dad, who hasn't been able to walk independently for a while. Yeah. Sending you a lot of love in that. Shelby, I'm curious if you'd want to speak to any of this on camera. If not, it's totally cool. Okay, she's good on that. Okay. Lynn says, I've learned that I need to focus on moderation this year. I tend to be all or none. Ooh, wow. That's some really good insight. Oh my gosh. Lynn, I'm curious, are you willing to hop on camera and talk a little bit more about this? It's okay if not. I'll honor the folks that don't want to be on camera. Okay. Lynn's also in her process. She's still in the flow. She's still in her writing flow. Okay. Well, I will certainly honor that. Mm, yeah. Tend to be all or none. Learning to focus on moderation. Yeah. I want to honor that, Lynn, you're still in your flow, but it reminds me of this kind of swinging, right? Between like, in a way, you might not be meant like speaking this, but it reminds me of catastrophic thinking when we're like kind of like hypo or hyper on the scale of things. Yeah, Lynn's getting a lot of insights, a lot of breakthroughs are happening right now. She's getting some big hits. But sometimes we have this balance of scale and we can kind of swing to different extremes. Sometimes in a more psychological aspect, it's called catastrophic thinking. really what we're doing is searching for safety. And other times it can be shadow work with this like the hypo sense of our shadow versus the hyper sense. Um, Giving again these two extremes, like we'll go from one to the other. And it sounds like that moderation is where Lynn is leaning into her gems. I hope that lands. So beautiful. Yes. Okay. She's throwing some hearts. All right. Well, thank you all for your shares. I did want to mention, if I may, about the group program called Sacred Soul Alignment that I'm personally really cultivating this year. And it's been a process. It's probably been like 2 years in the making. It's really my life's work. And it's what I'm here to really share as well. And if any of you listening, I hear you, Nico. Definitely. I'll hang on after the call to today for anyone who wants to chat longer. And Nico, we can totally set up more time, of course. Yeah. Nico and I were supposed to talk on Thursday, but I had food poisoning. So thanks for your patience. So, anyone who's listening that is interested in a tight container like this one, who wants to go deeper and clarify purpose, like really understand more about what not only my purpose is or your purpose is, but really the work that you're here to do, I'm here for you. And I'm creating a container for you. So, Sacred Soul Alignment is also about strengthening your personal power. Of course, right? We need to strengthen our confidence in this work. And through a process of deepening the connection to spirit, I believe that is where we can feel rested in ourselves, really honoring the process, honoring, right? And also cultivating authentic relationships that really matter. So, whew, so good. Now, of course, there's a process to all of this, right? It's a 10-month container for particularly heart centered creatives like yourselves. And it's really for anyone who's feeling called to something greater, who wants to create more impact, but wants to really understand, right, what it is. Like, explore some options, right? I'm going to help you explore a little bit and get clear. It's for people that are ready for bigger transformation, for sure, wanting to make that greater impact and are feeling called to be a role model for others, right? Wanting to step more into that leadership role, not necessarily needing to become, the leader, but just allowing yourself like, yeah, I really like being a role model for other people. This is for people seeking deeper connection with their higher purpose and wanting to more bravely, right, confidently express authentically. I also want to encourage those that are excited to claim your sensitivity as a superpower. I know I usually attract a lot of sensitive folks because I'm one of those people as well. And so I'm here to show you how that is actually a superpower. Now, how do we create some of that confidence? Boundaries. We'll be doing it. We will be learning and cultivating, learning how to create more boundaries and also be willing to go into understanding resistance patterns, understanding fear. We will also be, yeah, really learning more about trust and how to deeply trust yourself. So there's a few phases to this work. Because it's 10 months long, I've broken it down into phases. The first phase is really about creating sacred space and structure to clarify your soul's purpose. That's the first 2 months. It's really to establish a more powerful structure for you to build more confidence and actually claim that unique power. That uniqueness will go into phase 2, which is more about unlocking your divine design and intuition. Discovering your soul's blueprint is the way I like to call it, and really honoring your natural flow. In phase 3, we're going to talk about that deeper resistance and how to transform that resistance with revolutionary techniques and cultivate more sacred boundaries to move beyond fear and protect your energy. And in phase 4, we'll really get deep into compassion, forgiveness, and cultivating a more open heart to release the old patterns and cultivate deeper compassion so that you can be more open to receive and it doesn't feel depleting to give. In phase 5, I'm getting some yes from the crowd. In phase 5, we're going to talk about connection. This is where it gets so, I mean, it's all so juicy, but once we create those foundational pieces and really understand, right, like these core fear beliefs and create that foundation to recognize, oh, I am worthy of being whole, then it's really about creating more connection and divine wisdom, trusting your inner knowing, cultivating your future vision, embodying more of your highest truth. So good. So we've got some details, of course. So in terms of details, we'll have 3 live sessions per month. All the recordings will be available for replay, of course. There's going to be several bonus sessions where you can invite your friends as well. And there'll be, of course, so many practical tools to use, like really to use. Like these are my tools that I use out in the world, and I swear to you, they work. And of course, cultivating that spiritual wisdom so that you can feel home anywhere in the world. It's going to be an intimate group. I really want to keep it on a smaller scale so that we have more space for shares in our groups and to really hold the container nice and tightly. And with that, there's ongoing support. I'll be creating a Facebook group. Unless everyone hates Facebook, we'll figure out a different way. But Facebook can be really helpful for an intersection and interactive place so that I can answer questions on the daily or at least several times a week for folks. And of course, you can always reach out to me via email. So the price, I want to mention that right now, the price is as low as it can go. I really thought about this and I've created a tier system. So right now it's a super early bird tier 1 for $397 a month. In full, that's $1,000 savings from the price that I originally put it at. So I'm really wanting these beautiful, creative, sensitive souls to create this love army with me. So that's why I've lowered the price even lower. That will expire for the general public until February 8th. Sorry, that will expire on February 8th. For those of you that are VIPs with me, who have been previous clients with me, that will not expire. The price will go up to $444 and then it'll go up to $497. So next steps with me. I've opened a few spots for a clarity breakthrough session with me where we can use about 30 minutes to really explore and clarify what it is that you want and what's in your way and cultivate a little mini plan for you. That being said, I really want to see if this might be a right fit for you, this program, the Sacred Soul Alignment. And if it is, we can see how to continue working together. It would be my honor to guide you and create this love army. Absolutely. So I'm going to pop my clarity breakthrough session link in the chat for anyone who's wanting it. And if you want to learn more about the program, I'm going to pop that in there too. Okay. So we'll take some questions after the call, but I just want to honor the last 3 minutes just to close our container for anyone who's not wanting to stay on. How does that sound? Thumbs up? Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. So as we bring to a close, I want to offer so many thanks. First, thanking the wood snake. Thank you, wood snake, for your strategy and wisdom, for the practice of showing us how to shed our skins so we may rise even higher and root even deeper into our core. Thank you for showing us how to become more authentic as we strip down the layers of conditioning that keep us hidden from our truest nature. Thank you, wood snake, for showing us how to blossom as we are in this initiation of you in 2025, right here and right now. And thank you, dragon, lucky, living under cosmic knowledge. Yes, thank you for showing us how to become more embodied leaders for ourselves and role models for others. Thank you for everything you've taught us, for showing us a little bit more about what success really truly means at our core. Thank you, past selves, for everything you have walked through to get to this moment right here. Not a moment too soon or too late, but right here on time. I trust in your process. Thank you to our brains for always wanting to keep us safe. And thank you to our hearts, the sixth direction. Thank you for guiding and creating that focal point of all the directions, always knowing that we are home. And thank you to this earth for always supporting us. Again, where it is we have a grounding cord, we are always home, here with our hearts in honor of you and gratitude. Thank you to the spirits of this land. Thank you to the whales who made an appearance today in our session, jumping so high. I've never seen whales jump so high, who carry the wisdom, ancient wisdom of storytelling, community, and relational dynamics, and how to sing. Thank you, whales, for your deep emotions, for your deep wisdom of such ancient time. Thank you to the spirits of the highest truth and compassion for guiding us here and creating a safe and brave container for us to flow with the ever unfolding of it all. Thank you for being our allies. And thank you to each of you and your higher selves. Thank you for allowing yourself to give yourself permission to feel into your higher self right here, right now. And thank you for your bravery, vulnerability, and trust in me. I celebrate you for making this time for yourself. It's not always easy to cultivate time in a very busy, confusing world. And I believe that as we practice visiting our higher selves, visioning the world that we want to create for ourselves, becoming that leader, knowing that it's possible, we are making the change in this world. So thank you. Thank you for envisioning with me. I'm here for you. Let me know if you want to talk. Always reach out. I'll be properly closing the directions around sunset today. Out with the whales. And I honor you. Thank you for trusting me. Oh, and thank you to the internet gods, spirits of technology. You are my friends. Thank you so much. And thank you to my health, my resilient immune system. Oh my goddess. It's been a wild ride. Here for the initiation. All right, I'm going to stop the recording now. I can figure out how. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll hang on if anyone has anything, any questions.